So I just heard someone talking about the general public being scared to accidentally butt dial a pizza. So how many people in the general public do you think would be scared if they knew that there were laboratories that were not affiliated with traditional institutions, where the general public could come in and practice genetic engineering, and that, at least in the United States, they're entirely unregulated? It's a little bit more scary than butt dialing a pizza. Maybe not as economically important right now, but scary. So I am a co-founder of one of those labs. It's here in New York, in Brooklyn. It's called Genspace. And it was founded by people with very different backgrounds, students, artists, scientists, because we felt that there should be a place where people could come to have access to a lab to do great things. So we attract entrepreneurs who need a cheap space to do a proof of concept experiment. We attract artists who, there's a bioart trend now, and they want to incorporate biology into the artwork. And it's a very, very interesting community and a space. But one of the things that happens is every time a sufficiently powerful technology comes along, the press always starts asking, well, what happens if it makes its way into this DIY space? And CRISPR is one of those technologies. If you haven't heard of CRISPR, you're not alone. I did sort of an informal poll of my friends who were fairly well educated, and it was about 50-50. It's been in the news a lot, and what it is, as I've titled the workshop, it's essentially a genome editing, like a word processor for DNA code. And the difference is that it's cheaper and more efficient and more accessible than any other technology that we've had before. We've been editing genomes for years, but it usually was a very laborious process. And now, for the first time, techniques like this are streamlining it. And not only that, they're making it down to the price point where someone from the general public can actually get involved. Now, there are different ways to use this technology, and if you're interested, we're having a really cool workshop at 10:30 down on the second floor, where not only will I go over kind of the whole landscape of this, because there's all this juicy stuff. There are these huge patent wars now because the technology is really valuable. There's hundreds of millions of dollars in VC funding going into it. And also like a fierce rivalry to see who's actually going to get the Nobel Prize. But if you want to hear that and also experience, at least in silico, how easy it is to design a genetic modification and implement it, come down and check us out. We're getting closer and closer to the future that Esther's dad predicted, where people will be able to do genetic engineering on a very personal scale. And I hope you will engage with this, at least to know about it, because it's going to bleed into almost every aspect of your lives. Thanks.